Hey friends, my name is Jackson and welcome back to my channel, Gender Not Found. So this is the first episode of First Impressions. Um, there will be more. I have a lot of shows that I haven't watched yet that I'm interested in. So basically, First Impressions is where I watch either the first episode of a 22-minute show or the first three or four 11-minute episodes of the 11-minute shows. Molly McGee, or The Ghost of Molly McGee, rather, is one of those shows that has 11-minute episodes. They always put two together, so it has 22 minutes, but there's two episodes in there, so I wouldn't be watching any more than maybe three or four. I was maybe gonna do this tomorrow, but then I decided I want to do it today because I really want to get back to it because I love it so much. I actually really love this show. Um, I watched a few episodes last week. I only watched three of the 11-minute episodes. I stopped myself before I watched any more, even though I wanted to keep watching. But with everything, I would have done this sooner, but then there was everything with the AC unit and the landlord, and it was just fucking stressful. So I just watched other shit while I was waiting around, getting ready for the review and stuff. Anyway, anyway, so I'm gonna kind of talk about the first three episodes. First of all, I want to say this show has a super catchy theme song, a super awesome theme song. I love the theme song of this show. I'll be talking more about that when I do my top 12 theme songs, which will be later this year, probably near the end of the year, September, October, probably around October. But in the meantime, I'm just going to talk about the first three episodes of this show that I've seen. So, the first episode is, in the first episode, Scratch and Molly meet for the first time, and Scratch is the ghost in The Ghost and Molly McGee, and Molly's the girl. So, it's about a ghost and a girl that are best friends. Well, not best friends at first. Anyway, mm. I mean, Molly keeps calling them best friends. I don't know, it's really cute. She's really sweet and basically, so anyway, the first episode is called The Curse, and basically it starts in the ghost world where we're looking at the ghost numbers, and there's this, I guess, the the chairman, he's like the leader or whatever. So he looks at their numbers and he tells them if they're good to go or not. I mean, he doesn't say anything, but his underlings, I guess, talk about how they're doing, the council or whatever you want to call it. Also, sorry if this seems rushed, but I really want to get back to the show. But I'm gonna do a scripted review later on, and then it'll be better. So this is like one of my smaller This is gonna be one of my smaller projects because there's only two seasons. So I'm probably gonna try and do it in September or October of this year. Actually, maybe I'll do it in October as like a Halloween themed thing. But anyway, so they're talking. I can't stop yawning. Mm. So they're looking at all the ghost numbers, and then they're talking about how they're doing and stuff, and then they get to Scratch, which is the ghost of the show, the main ghost, and he doesn't really have any friends or anything, and it's made clear he doesn't really have any friends, like he's not that popular or whatever. But anyway, but his numbers are doing really well. And then later on we meet Molly like a second later. Um After he tries to go to the club with some of his ghosts, with some of his fellow ghosts, and they won't let him come. And so then we meet Molly, well, Molly's family, who is moving into the empty house that Scratch is living in because, he's a ghost. So Scratch is living in the attic, and Molly goes up to the attic because she's going to turn it into a bedroom, and she starts decorating and stuff, and then she meets Scratch, and Scratch tries to put this curse on her, but um, it actually ends up becoming a problem for him because it like kind of backfires. he puts a curse that'll always be with her and stuff, basically. I don't remember everything exactly he says. See, if I was doing the scripted, I would, like, say more stuff about that. But anyway, it kind of backfires, and so he goes to the club to get some help from his fellow ghosts, and they tell him that the curse that he put on Molly is basically ends up being more of a curse for the ghost than the kid. So basically, like there's nothing Scratch can do, and the curse is true, so he's gonna be with Molly forever, and she's really excited about that, so she's still decorating the attic and stuff, and then um Scratch comes in, and apparently if she calls out his name, he like is forced to go to her. Like there's a force pulling him to her because that's how it works apparently. And so anyway, he tries to scare Molly's family to get them to leave the house, but then Molly convinces her family to stay. And so I guess they're all chill now or whatever. So she's not leaving. And the reason he tries to scare them to get them to leave the house is because his fellow ghosts say that if he can scare the family out of the house, then the curse is broken. So he tries to make that happen. And um yeah, and basically that's what happens, but he isn't able to scare them to move out, so they stay, and then we cut back to the showman for a second, and we see that the positivity has risen slightly in the town that Scratch is supposed to be haunting, because Molly's there and she brings a lot of positivity everywhere that she goes. Actually, that's why I love her a lot. She's a really I really love, like, positive bouncy, energetic characters or whatever you want to call them. I can't think of that word. I can't think of the wording. Anyway, and then the second episode is basically Molly's first day of school, where she tries to talk to Scratch about going to school, and apparently he told her like she's really nervous about her first day, and so Scratch realizes that if he screws up her first day, then she'll be forced to move. So she ends up, but what he does doesn't work, and then she ends up accidentally pissing off this Andrea girl, or should I say Andrea, because apparently that's her name, and she doesn't like when people pronounce it Andrea. And anyway, she pisses that girl off, so Andrea becomes the main bully, I guess. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into it yet. Like I said, I'm only a couple episodes in. Because if I had gone any further, it would have ruined the integrity of the project. And I don't want to do that because I want to do a proper first impressions because I really love this show. By the way, I want to mention the ghost is voiced by Dana Snyder, which wouldn't be a problem except for he has a super recognizable voice, and I just so happen to love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So, when Dana Snyder is voicing the ghost, I usually just hear Master Shake, and it's really hard when, like, first of all, this is supposed to be a kids' show, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force is very adult, and Master Shake is like the biggest asshole. He's always tormenting everyone, so it's hard to see him as this grumpy ghost that develops a friendship with Molly, but I'll probably, I managed to get over that pretty quickly, but I did kind of his voice was kind of a problem at first, but I think I'm okay with it now. Like I just see Scratch when I'm seeing him on screen and when I hear his voice and stuff, so I'm good with that now. Anyway, so after she pisses off the girl, she's like flipping out, and there's also this quiet, shy girl in her class named Libby who pissed off Andrea or whatever like a few years ago, and now she's like she's getting bullied by her, and that's why she's so shy and quiet, I guess. I don't know. I think that was what they were implying. Um this is why I need a script. Anyway, so I'm just trying to remember everything that happens. Anyway, so she pisses off Andrea or whatever, and she meets Libby, and then later on, uh, she's gonna like she accidentally she and Scratch accidentally make Andrea hit her head, so then it's like, well, she's trying to get her to the nurse's office, and then she's like behind the curtain for the play or whatever, where everyone's supposed to be to hear Andrea talk, I think. and then Scratch opens the curtain when she's standing there, so they see her and that Andrea is hurt, and she's about to become a social outcast when suddenly Scratch steps in and possesses Andrea, I guess, and then he, like, starts talking about how there's a girl that's having a really hard day, and you think he's gonna be talking about Molly, obviously, but, he's actually talking about Libby, which is really interesting because Scratch is supposed to be this grumpy ghost that doesn't like positivity and lives to make the world a worse place, but that's what kind of why it works because they're polar opposites. But anyway, and Libby hasn't even done anything for him yet. Molly's been his best friend for the last 2 episodes. Anyway, he ends the speech by saying that Molly McGee's not so bad either, and also convinces the students that she doesn't really care how students pronounce her name, I guess. I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough to see what happens with that because the third episode I watched didn't involve Andrea at all, and it's actually about Molly going on a camping trip and trying to figure out who's going to be her best friend. And there's this myth about Howlin' Harriet or whatever, and later it turns out she's actually real. There's also this really annoying ghost named Jeff that wants to be Scratch's best friend or whatever. So now there's two of them, Molly McGee and Jeff. And yeah, so in this episode, Scratch's story is about trying to get away from Jeff, and then Molly's story is about figuring out who's going to be her best friend. And she's got a bunch of stuff, and the last thing that she's looking for is like I think she calls it the Z factor or something, and she's like it's that one special thing or something like that. I don't remember exactly what she says. See, if I had a script I would be able to do this better. But anyway, basically, Helen Harriet turns out to be real, and both of the other girls run away, and Libby helps Molly instead because she needs help. So, and apparently she needs her help crafting because she makes some fake toes. Helen Harriet just wants her toes back apparently, and after they give Helen Harriet her toes back, she's able to slip into a ghost body and not the body that she's in right then. So she's able to become a normal ghost like Scratch. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, so and then it shows that there's a bunch of stars in Libby's column under the X factor or whatever, or the Z factor or whatever the hell Molly calls it. Anyway, the point is she won by a landslide to be Molly's best friend, and the episode ends with her worrying that she doesn't know if Libby wants to be her best friend too, and then Libby comes up to her and gives her a friendship bracelet and is like, hey, do you want to be best friends or whatever, and she's acting all like shy about it, but then Molly gives her a giant hug and says BFFs or something like that, and it's really cute. I love that ending. And that's as far as I got, so um I'll definitely talk about it more. I think I'm gonna make that my project for October, as long as nothing big and crazy is happening. Like, if I move into subsidized housing, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I could still be settling in October, but I guess we'll see how things move along. So I'll keep you guys posted, but for now, I'm gonna probably make the scripted review my October project. I mean, I'm probably gonna be done with the show by then. I want to finish with this show in the next couple days, if I can. I think that would be amazing. And there's only 2 seasons, so it's really not that hard. So it doesn't look like it's gonna be long to get through because apparently, I mean, the last episode of the second season is called The End, and anyway, I don't really know what happens there, but seems like the end of the series. Wait, when did the series start? It says 2021 to 2023, 2 seasons. Wait, okay, it might still be going. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess we'll see what happens. I guess I'll see if another season comes up, but the fact that the last episode of season 2 is called The End kind of makes it seem like they only wanted to do 2 seasons and that they've accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. If they haven't accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, I'd love to see a season 3. But, I guess I'll see what happens throughout the entire show, and either way, I'm gonna try and make it my October project, as long as another season doesn't drop before now and then. Also, I'm going to the movies on Wednesday because it's Valentine's Day, and that's what I always do for like the last 4 years. Well, except for 2021 because the theater was closed down. Like, the theater would close down for months at a time and then reopen for a while and then close and then reopen. And in 2021, we were kind of in a shutdown state, so the movie theater was closed at the time. It was like only essential businesses being open. That was when things were up in the air. And then, but everything, I think about the end of 2021, like near the end of 2021, the theater opened, and everything since then has been good. So, I mean, not good, but like much better, you know? And they got rid of masks and stuff, and then in early 2022 I moved house, and damn, I love this. I love my new place. And I would love to be in subsidized housing, but I really don't want to live with my mom. Um, so I guess that's it. I think this is gonna be my last video for tonight because it's almost 9 o'clock. I did save a bunch of Reddit posts, so I might try and do some Reddit videos tomorrow. Either way, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. You are valid. Don't forget to be good to yourself and to others. And I'll see all you guys in the next video soon.